All right, so if you are in Colorado Springs or El Paso County and you do not like the fireworks, you know people are doing illegal things by using fireworks that are illegal, and I'll explain all this in a moment here. This will be a little bit longer video, but it'll be very full of information and kind of give you an idea of what you can do to make things better going forward. How do I know this works? Because I did it last year and was able to get things kind of handled, and I plan on doing more this year within my area, and I'll give you some guidelines. Let me be clear on one thing: is I would advise you do not go roaming the city trying to do this. I would recommend you stick to your neighborhood and area and an area that you're more familiar with. That would be important. It also give you more time to work with. So if fireworks are being used in your neighborhood, the illegal kind, I'll explain what that is, and you are in Colorado Springs, there are some things you can do about that, and it will take some time, but if you're with me and what I'm going to do, it should provide you some satisfaction. So first, let's go over what's legal, illegal, those kind of things. I did pull this information from the Colorado Springs CityGov website, and then same for El Paso County. In addition, I've talked to Colorado Springs Police Department. I've spoke with an officer, and I've spoke with the El Paso County Sheriff's Department sheriff, and they provided me information to back this up as well. So here's what you need to know. In Colorado Springs, fireworks are always illegal in the city limits. All types of fireworks with fuse and requiring a flame for ignition are unlawful. Only novelty items, snappers and poppers, are allowed. That is it. That's what's allowed in the city. Anything else is illegal and is actionable. If you're in the city, possession, use, and or sale of those items, even those legal under state law or county, can result in a fine of up to $2,500 or up to 189 days in jail. And that's according to the city's fire department. So I have this referenced here. The city has a complete ban on fireworks. Full stop. That is it. Now, where you decide to report is up to you. In my discretion, I am fine with sparklers that are handled responsibly, but for people doing things like lighting them in the street, doing stuff like that, I'm against that. El Paso County, fireworks are illegal, but it's generally stuff that leaves the ground, with some exceptions. Fountains, for example, are not illegal, and sparklers are not illegal, stuff like that. M80s, mortars, the artillery shells, all that stuff is illegal, even in the county, and is actionable. You would need to contact the Sheriff's Department for that. The process I'm going to explain will apply to both county and city for what you need to do. So here's what you need to do. You need to get video of what's happening. You need to film what is happening. If they're firing artillery shells, make sure to get a good wide shot and pan up, down, all of that. Get the address and the dwelling within your video. This is not illegal in Colorado. Colorado is a single party record state, which basically means as long as one person knows you're recording, that is legally okay to do. Get clear pictures if you can of anybody lighting the fireworks doing that. I know it's going to be hard because it may be dark. Around where I'm at, people are still doing semi-light outside, so it should be easy. Identify those people. You need to note the date and time of the infraction taking place. Keep notes of that. Again, note the address, and then you can go to the El Paso County Treasurer's site to get information on the residents, who owns the home. That'll be handy because even if you can't ID the person in there, you can put the complaint against the landlord or the person owning the property. They're most likely not going to want to go to jail or pay the fine for their tenant. So yes, you'll be creating problems for people living in these properties. I would not advise calling the non-emergency number unless it's one house and you're willing to wait to file a police report, because you can wait up to 3 hours on the phone. That was my experience one year, and that's the last time I'm calling that on the 4th of July. They're busy on the non-emergency. You are not causing problems with 911 if you're calling the non-emergency. People need to stop saying that. It's not an issue. Once you have all this information, what you want to do is document it, write it down, keep separate reports for each. You're going to want to have some form of portable media possibly, unless the police department accepts YouTube links on private channels for video, because you're going to want to provide those videos to the police department as evidence of what has happened, and you're going to want to file a police report is what you're going to want to do. File a police report against each and every person. The caveat to this is that you may have to show up in court, and your information will be available to that person. Now, that may be a break point for you. You're like, I'm not doing this, and that's absolutely fine. I will put myself at risk. The reason being is if somebody decides to come after me, that'll be harassment, assault, or menacing, and I will take them to court for that. I will ruin somebody's life over the fact that they're doing something illegal that is causing problems for the neighborhood, and they should not be doing that. And there's no excuse that covers you trying to come after someone, with assault, menacing, or anything else. I will make sure you go to prison for that. That's where I'm at. I'm tired of this. You guys are fine claiming that, laws on one set of people is fine, but not for you. Nope, we're done with that. So get those police reports done. I do believe you can also push it to sue for damages. I haven't talked to a lawyer about this yet, but I think you can pursue damages for just for your peace being disturbed. That's more of a civil offense. A lot of these are not high-end crimes. It's what people escalate to that becomes the problem. So, and to answer anybody's question in the comments that may be kind of like, just like, oh my God, you're horrible. Yeah, I am. I'm horrible. I have no problem putting somebody in jail for up to 189 days and giving them the fine of up to $2,500 in the city. Hey, FAFO, right? You guys like to play that game. So that's where I'm at. If you have any additional questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll be glad to answer what I can. Again, I have spoke with Colorado Springs Police Department and with the Sheriff's Office. I'm probably going to reach out to the fire department for additional information, but know that there's nothing you can do in the immediate. They're going to do what they're going to do. Let them be bold about that. Let them be bold and do what they're going to do so you can get them dead to rights on that. Again, document everything you can and then file police reports against those people. And again, if you're worried about retaliation, I understand that, but keep in mind that's only going to make it worse on them, because in addition to those charges, anything they do in retaliation will be a separate criminal complaint that will get them in trouble, and you should absolutely seek monetary damages for that. I do believe some of that's covered under personal injury, but I'm not sure on that portion. Again, the things I'm not sure about, I am telling you, that I'm not sure about. The other stuff I am, as I have talked to the appropriate authorities about that, and that's how we're handling it this year. How do I know this works? Last year, I had a neighbor across the way from me where they were letting their kids do this unsupervised, and I got the police involved with that. That one did warrant a 911 where cops came out for that. In addition to this, something else you can pursue is, and this may be more extreme, I'm not sure if I'm going to do this or not, but if a parent is just having their kids unsupervised in their front lawn using fireworks in an area where you can see their kids using fireworks and you know what the address is, it is possible Child Protective Services could be involved to give them an infraction for endangering their child. Because allowing your kids to use explosives is child endangerment. So haven't decided on that one yet. We'll see how these people get. That may be something I pursue if they decide to get retaliatory in addition to other stuff. So you do have options. Don't feel like you don't. Please check on neighbors that are vulnerable, those that may be freaking out, maybe off them to hang out with you if they have PTSD and they want company. Those are things you can do to support your veterans. Is like, hey, I understand it's a hard time. I understand you've expressed issues before. See if those people would like that kind of help. Anyway, sorry for the long video. If you have any questions, leave them below in the comments. Let me know what you think. And we can go over that. But guys, have a safe 4th of July. Again, I'm not really celebrating the holiday. I never really do, because I don't feel like there's been any reason to celebrate this holiday for a while now, as people keep losing freedoms, including women and migrants. And obviously this isn't a holiday for the veterans, because most people that are doing these things that are destructive and disruptive do not care about veterans. They just love to say phrases supporting veterans, but when it comes time to actually do it, they don't. So anyway, there you go, guys.